The Peacock's Blessing, a magical tale from the heart of India. In the land where the sun painted the desert sands gold and the winds carried ancient songs across the dunes, there was a peaceful village named Surajpur. Tucked away between the Aravalli hills, Surajpur was small, but its heart was grand. Its people were warm, its traditions deep, and its air always smelled of jasmine, sandalwood, and incense. Among the villagers lived a 13-year-old girl named Meera, with eyes as bright as oil lamps on Diwali night. She had long black hair braided with flowers and hands that could turn the plainest mud into the most beautiful rangoli patterns. Every morning, even before the roosters crowed, Meera would rise, bathe in cold well water, and prepare a basket full of fresh marigolds, tulsi leaves, and rose petals to offer at the village temple of Lord Krishna. You see, Meera wasn't just any girl. She was full of dreams. Her biggest wish was to one day become a classical dancer and perform in front of kings and queens. She learned by watching the older girls during festivals, copying their mudras and steps in secret under the banyan tree, twirling alone as the sun set behind the dunes. One monsoon morning, as grey clouds hovered over the village and the scent of wet earth filled the air, Meera heard something strange while walking to the temple, a soft, painful cry, not human, but not far off. Curious and concerned, she followed the sound past the sugarcane fields near the neem tree by the lake. There in the mud lay a wounded peacock, his feathers dull, one wing bruised. Meera gasped. To find a peacock in the open like this was rare, and to see one hurt even more so. "Oh, poor Mayur," she whispered, "don't be afraid." She carefully lifted the bird into her shawl and brought him home. Her parents were shocked, but they helped her build a small shelter for the peacock behind their hut. Meera fed him crushed grains and turmeric milk, sang lullabies, and even played the flute to keep him company. Slowly, the peacock healed. And just as slowly, a beautiful bond blossomed between them. She named him Mayur, the Sanskrit word for peacock, a name filled with elegance and grace. Weeks passed, and soon it was time for Janmashtami, the celebration of Lord Krishna's birth. The village burst into color, walls painted anew, children dressed as little Krishnas and Radhas, and the temple adorned with diyas, mango leaves, and flower garlands. The village elders decided to hold a dance and bhajan competition in the temple courtyard. Meera had never danced in front of others before, but with her heart full of devotion and courage, she signed up. She sewed her own lehenga from scraps of colorful cloth, added bells to her ankles, and painted her palms with henna. As she stepped onto the temple stage that evening, under the soft light of 100 diyas, the villagers sat in anticipation. The flute began to play. Meera closed her eyes and began to dance, graceful, expressive, divine. Suddenly, a collective gasp filled the courtyard. From the temple dome, Mayur flew down, his feathers now fully grown, shimmering blues, greens, and golds. He spread his wings and began to dance with Meera. Step for step, beat for beat, he matched her rhythm. It was as if they had danced together for lifetimes. People wept. Some whispered it was the blessing of Lord Krishna himself, for no peacock dances unless the heart is pure. Among the audience was a traveler, a courtier from the royal palace of Udaipur, who had come to seek blessings for the queen's health. He was spellbound. "This child," he said, "has the grace of Radha and the spirit of Krishna's own flute." The very next day, Meera was invited to perform before the Maharaja and Maharani of Udaipur. Her name spread across the land. Yet despite the honor, Meera remained humble. She thanked the gods and always carried with her a small token, a peacock feather soft as silk and glowing like moonlight. That night after her performance, as she sat under the stars with Mayur beside her, he looked into her eyes, and then he spoke. "Meera," he said gently, "I am not just a peacock. I was once the guardian of Lord Krishna's divine flute, As a test, I was sent to Earth to see if the world still held kindness. Your compassion freed me. A flash of light shimmered, and Mayur rose into the air, glowing with golden light. Slowly he vanished, not into the sky, but into the heavens. All that remained was the feather. Meera became one of the greatest dancers of her time, but she never forgot her roots, her family, or her feathered friend. Her story became a song mothers sang to their children, a legend passed down for generations, of kindness, culture, and the magical blessings that follow a pure heart. Subscribe for more story.